Hello everyone, this is Logic again coming at you live, and as you can see, now I actually have an upgrade. Like these I mentioned already, but also if you noticed, I'm using the front-facing camera right now, and this is how clear this picture on this other phone is. So that's a big difference. Like you can literally see me now and I'm in the right colors, and hopefully it will be the same on YouTube. I don't know if the other problem is related to YouTube or my phone, but you know, the colors are all messed up, so this is just a quick test to let you guys know and let you see the difference. Because before, when I was using the front-facing camera, it was all grainy and shit. So this is a vast improvement on that. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay, and now you can see me okay too. So thank you for being a part of this channel, and thank you for taking this little time to check it out. And as I said, this is just a quick test to see how that's gonna work on YouTube. So I'm trying to make it as short as possible, so I don't have to wait too long for it to be up there and just see what it looks like and things like that. But I know it's different when you go live, obviously, anyway, so it might still be different. Maybe it's the app, you know. Maybe it's downgrading the quality or something. Maybe it's something technical in their settings. I don't know, but on my end, at least on my phone, the colors are all screwed up. So hopefully on this phone it will be normal, and like I said, it'll be really clear now. So that's a major advantage, of course. Thanks to, big shout out to my mother's husband, you know, giving me this upgrade, which actually allows me to do, in terms of the picture at least, better quality videos. So thanks to him, you know. But thank you all, you know, for being here, and I'm sorry for the hiatus, if you will. It's been a while since I've even done anything on here, but I've just been going through a weird time lately, and there's been a few things happening. Some of you already know and some of you don't, but it's not important enough for me to talk about that in the video itself per se. But like I said, it's not only about what's happened, it's also about how I've been feeling lately and how my life has been going lately. I haven't been feeling it, so to speak, and when you don't feel it, like, that's my honest opinion, don't do it if you don't feel it, because then it's just gonna be just to create those shows, you know, the production, you know, it's just gonna be for the sake of producing, and that's not who I am anyway. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch this, and like I said, if this works the same on the live end of things, it's gonna be a major improvement on my situation quality wise for the picture. Now you can actually see my clothes, so now I have to be more aware if I have some dirt on it or hair or something. I gotta be even more mindful, because now you can actually make out the details. That's the benefit of having the other phone being as grainy as it was on the front-facing camera. Little details like that I can get away with because you guys couldn't see it, and now you can, so fuck me, right? But anyway, I'll be back shortly. I think I might do a live show later. And I'm gonna smoke with you guys then too, of course, but right now I'm gonna have a private moment for myself and just enjoy the silence and the smoke, because I just ate. So I'm breaking the code here, so to speak, because usually I smoke after my food with you guys. So, and also I'm doing a shout out video later on, because I have actually reached 80 subscribers as of now. So sorry about that. I've been struggling with my throat too. That's another reason why I haven't been doing anything lately, because the last week in particular, but I've had these problems with my throat, as I've told you before, for close to 10 years. But in the past week, and probably more than that, but specifically or especially in this past week, it's been worse than normal. I don't know if it's because of all this rain that we've been having, maybe the humidity, or just the cold, because it's been really cold here lately. So maybe that's why my voice now is worse than normal, because maybe the thing is, whatever the problem is, kind of maybe when it's dry, it's fine. And now that we have some humidity, maybe that makes the condition worse. I don't even know what the condition is. I mean, I have my theories, but I'm sure if I told the doctor that, I have a new doctor now, thankfully. So I'm going to try and talk to him and see what he thinks we can do about it. Because, oh, sorry, if I can get my mother and her husband aboard, then maybe I'll get my doctor to like forward me to the hospital in the other city. And because I know who the specialist in town here, and I have tried to address this issue with him years ago. And to say I'm unhappy with how he helped me is to say the least. And I don't like wasting my money, because my money is precious, and I have to pay for it myself. And I mean, I am entitled to turn over the bill to the welfare office, and they're supposed to pay it. But if I can manage, I like to take care of it myself. But that's why I don't go to the doctor unless it's absolutely crucial. So I'm gonna try, and I obviously, when I do that, I want to be freshened up, too. So that's another point. I need to do laundry and shit. So basically, yeah. But I want to talk to my doctor and see what he thinks can be done, if anything, because what I'm looking for isn't just some temporary, how do you say, alleviation of the symptoms. I want to be cured. Unfortunately, I know these days they don't do that anymore. So that's a problem too. But the point I'm making is, if I'm gonna spend my money on the doctor, I want him to fucking cure me. If that's too much to ask, then I think they should start charging less, because their services is quite expensive as it is. So let me know in the comments what you think about the medical professions these days, because I'm quite frankly quite disappointed in them. A lot of times I know just as much as them, or maybe in some cases even more. So I'm not too impressed with the quality of their work. And the difference is, here's my theory as to why this has happened. It used to be like every kind of job. When you did that job, it was because it was your calling. You see? Like, it was the thing that you knew, oh, I know how to do this, and I'm good at it. So now it's just to get that paycheck, So you don't get as involved. And if the person isn't, and that's another point that I would like to make in that regard. Like, in a sense, it's like the thinking behind it seems to be, unless the person is in critical condition, I'm not going to go above and beyond. And that's the thing. Like, doctors these days, it seems to me, they take the easy way out in a way. They do like a shortcut in a way. And it might seem like a shortcut, but in reality, they're lessening the... How can I say? They're lessening the status of their position, because I know if you're a doctor or a lawyer, that's like a thing that people looks up to in society to a certain degree. But I say, and I know that with lawyers, it's like a two-sided. On one side, you have where it's really, what's the word in English? What's that word? It's like, for lack of a better term, I'm going to use like coveted, but it's like a thing that people look up to, like in terms of they know the status and the money. And on the other hand, you have all the jokes about how lawyers are like the scum of the earth and things like that. They are liars. They have no morals. They're vultures and blah blah blah. All those jokes and comments in that sort of camp. So there's basically two sides to that part. But I'm saying, in general, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, like, society is going to hold that in a higher esteem, which is just silly to me anyway, but you know, that's how it is. But what I'm saying is how it used to be something that people did because they felt, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is the meaning of my life, the purpose of my very existence. And so when you go from that to looking towards the money, for one, of course, because I understand you need money to feed your people, like your family and whatnot. But what I'm saying, excuse me, I just caught this, some dry skin. It used to be my right eye, and now it's moved over to my left eye. Unfortunately, it's weird. It's like I get really sore, and when it heals, you have those big white crusts. I'm sorry for that, and I don't mean to gross you out, but they're like the way skin heals, you know. And when it's not there, got it, I think. When it's not a actual, I don't know, it's probably still there. It's just like my skin is so dry. Those, that's the thing. Let's see if I get it all. You know me. I'm OCD, so if I see something like that, I have to do something about it, because, you know, it's healed pretty much, but I think it's also, some of it might be just some wrinkles, I guess. I guess it's my age showing too a little bit, but yeah, it's like, it used to be something that people did because they were called to do it, you know. And I don't know this thing, like in the middle of the screen to my right in the picture on the phone, because obviously it's going to be flipped around on your guys' end, I believe. I believe that how it works. Whatever I see, so like these are on my left side, no, my right side. But when I yeah, that's funny, because it's going to be flipped around, basically. The camera basically turns it around on your guys' end, but on my end, in the picture in front of me right now, they're on my right. So to me, like, it's a literal mirror image. Oh, I don't know what it is, but every time I eat, I get these burp-like things, and it's not just it's not even a proper burp. It's just like this little bubble of gas escaping, you know. But it's better it comes that way, you know. But as I was saying, it used to be something that people did because they felt compelled to choose that line of work and to do that line of work, and they had like this deeper connection with it. And now, like I said, I can really understand from the I'm gonna sneeze now too. Oh my god. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, let's hope that's the one and not more are coming, because it didn't feel like it. You know how with sneezes you can immediately tell if it's going to be more than one, but this felt like one, so hopefully I don't have any others coming back and like sneaking up on me and suddenly I just sneeze out of nowhere, because this one I could feel it coming and it felt like one, and it feels like I'm done after it was done. And but I guess it makes a little bit of fun for you guys when unexpected things happen like that. So, but anyway, like I said, I think people had a more deeply rooted connection with their line of work because it used to be a calling. It used to be, sometimes it could be like that's what their parents did, you know, they wanted to follow in their parents' footsteps, so to speak. Or in some cases, you know, some kids, they didn't have a choice even. But I'm saying some of them, a lot of them back in those days, they felt a connection to what they were doing and why, you know. And now, for one, society has become so rough in that sense. You have to be in the rat race to support yourself, obviously, and your family. But at the same time, it's also become a thing about status and greed, you know, like wanting that money, coveting that money, and worshipping it. like it's almost some kind of god. And it's funny how one artist in our country, a rapper, I've talked to you and presented you to this guy before. The Norwegian rapper is not only a Norwegian rapper, but he's from my sort of neck of the woods, not specifically my place, but the region, you know. He's from my region in the country, the north. So, and even he was saying in one of his lyrics, I mean, I'm paraphrasing him basically, but he said in one of his lyrics how King Alcohol is the god that everyone worships and prays to. But I coined his phrase, and I reshaped it, and I said, money is the god, because you know, it's like a quote about that too, but it's actually more suited with what he said. If you take his quote in his lyrics in that song and you turn it around and you say money, it fits just as good too. So what's happened with people is how like I said, it's been a shift from being committed to your work, being married to your work, and caring about your job like that, to just getting that paycheck, making sure you have food on the table and your people, your family, if you have one, are kept fed and clothed and everything. But now you have to, because of the speed, the momentum the world is moving at, the pace, you know, for one. And secondly, it's also become this thing where, oh, if I don't have this, that, and the other, I'm not a human being. Really? Like, it doesn't make sense. So I think that's the reason why it's become like that with doctors too. How they don't actually cure you anymore. You know, they rather just give you something, and if it works, it's fine. But like, I would love for a doctor to say, I'm gonna get to the root of this problem. I would love that to happen. Am I expecting it though? No, not so much. So that's just my 2 cents on it, and that's why I don't like going to the doctors unless I absolutely have to. And I've been dealing with this throat of mine for close to 10 years. And the beginning was the worst, because of course there was 2 or 3 times I woke up in the middle of the night feeling like I was going to suffocate. But it did ease up a little bit over time. But since then I've been dealing with getting hoarse if I talk too much or something, or just randomly having a bad day or something. But it's been fine. I've been able to manage. But in the past week, it's been worse than normal. So I did a bit of singing the other day, practicing a song. Because, you know, I love music and I love singing. I'm not the greatest singer. And that's the problem. Having this thing being the way it is now and affecting my voice the way it does, it's not because I can't sing only. Like, that might be part of it too. Like, maybe I try to hit a note that I can't hit, and then my voice breaks in addition to that, so it makes it sound even worse, you know. So, or to be grammarly correct, sound worse. It makes it sound worse. Because not only might I be a little bit off key, but my voice is literally breaking because my throat, like my voice goes away a little bit, you know. And dealing with that is just, it's annoying as fuck, because you're trying to do something, and like I've been telling a couple of you guys, I've been dreaming of being able to do like a music video, and hopefully I'll figure out some kind of way to do that in a good way soon. And also hopefully you guys will be able to endure the torture, you know, withstand the torture. But yeah, I'm not the best singer out there. I know this. Even if I had a perfect day, like back in the day when my voice was fine, I'm not the best singer out there. I'm like Lou Reed in that sense. So I probably, in that sense, I should probably do some Lou Reed song. But, you know, the music that speaks to me is the music that speaks to me. I'm not saying Lou Reed doesn't speak to me, because he definitely does. He's been my guy since long ago, you know. But, you know, him and Jim Morrison and a couple of others. But right now, there's been the first one I did. I have literally made recordings of it, even though I can't make both sources of sound come out the same level of clear, you know, the same level of clarity on them. And that's why it would sound weird, because it sounds just like some guy is singing to some song playing in the room. You don't hear the song in the room. And I was trying to do this, but I keep forgetting where the camera is at. So, but it sounds kind of like just a guy singing in the room, and the music in the room is not as clear as, because if you can get both sources, your voice and the background track, to be as clear as each other, or at least the same, then it's not a problem. But if it sounds muffled, it's not something I want to put up there. So, and that's another thing. I have it in terms of audio. Even if the audio was perfect, I don't even know how can I put up audio and make that combined with some kind of video. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I said, I never used to have indigestion either. I'm telling you guys, not only do we have a problem with the doctors not curing us, that's one thing, but another thing is how I think all of these symptoms, because that's basically what they are, all of them. They are symptoms of something being wrong. And I think some of them are not even symptoms in a sense of disease. I think it's something that's being done to us. I know that sounds crazy, but you know me, I'm a little bit crazy. So I'm going to say what I believe, and that's what I believe. I believe that some of these symptoms are man-made. They're not diseases. They're not something like that, you know. That's honestly what I think. I think they're not, how can I say? They don't have natural causes. I think it's something that's being done to us. And I know, even when my nose was perfect, because this problem with my throat, it affects my entire system for breathing, talking, you know, how hoarse I feel, everything. It's making my nose stuffed, and I'm really stuffed now too. And as I said, maybe this has to do with the wet. Oh, I hate that when it's two V's or W's together. Wet weather we've been having lately. Maybe that's part of it, but I'm worse than ever. This wouldn't be any worse if it was in the middle of winter. Like, this is literally how it works right now for me, and in this very day. And I know for a fact, even when my nose was fine, when I was a kid, and in my younger days, before this happened, I know I'm nasal. But now, because I'm stuffed, I sound even more nasal. So that's why I hate listening to recordings of myself, and that's why I tried to do it without the music and just to have my voice, because if I can mix the two in the software that I have or some other software and actually do it like that, take two sources of audio and put them together, then all I have to sort out is how to align a video with that, you know. And preferably, if I do a music video, preferably with lyrics on them. And that's a couple of things I'm trying to work out. And Aero, if you're watching this, I would definitely like to connect with you, but it has to be over Hangouts or Skype, and make sure you have, like, you do it somewhere where you have a really good connection so we can actually talk, because I really need to talk to you, bro. And we really need to because I think you can really, you could be a valuable asset to me in that sense, in terms of what's it called? Fruity Loops, you know. Help me create something with that. And I'm not beneath even giving you credit if you help me get to where I want to be. Even for just one song, you will be listed in the credits too, even though I am the composer, and you just help with some, if you will, technical, because this is technical to me. Like, this is another way of making music, so you know, you are the one that knows the ins and outs of that, so I don't mind giving you credit for that. So you will have a co-composer credit if you help me produce something electronically, because that's one of my dreams, to take my best song and recreate it like that electronically, so it can just be turned into a music video very easily once it's done. And also, I don't know if you're the right one for that, but I'm even looking for someone to help me make an ending to that song, because I can't finish the song without that ending. So if anyone wants to be credited, like I just said, be on there with me, co-credited for contributing to the song, if you will, then that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna give you credit even if you did something small like that. So if anyone out there really knows about how to work Fruity Loops, or maybe even would like to create the whole thing for me, then you'll be listed as a co-composer, even though you're just recreating what I've already composed. But of course, like I said, it would include adding an ending to it, because I have like an intro to it, so there should be an extra to it as well. And I haven't been able to come up with something for myself. So if you can help me figure that out, that will be amazing. But not only do I in general have to figure something out for that ending, but it has to be something I'm like, yes, that's it, that's the one. So, but yeah, this actually turned out longer than I was expecting, but that's me, you know. It is what it is. I don't plan these things, they just turn out the way they do. And sorry about not only the sneezing part, but especially the picking my eye thing. But I not only did I see it on camera, but like, it was so rough. Like, I had that's the side I already have a scar on, and I don't know if that's the scars you can see right now, but one of them, like, you see I have a few scars on that side, and that was back then in a few years ago, with this problem with my eyes, another problem I have with myself. It got so bad because the stuff that comes out of me is so strong, and it had been sitting there for a while. And you know what salt is, you know, concentrated salt is really powerful. Basically, that's why you have something called, I don't know, again, please don't trash me in the comments for not knowing the English one for it, but it's something which would, in my language at least, translate into English as to salt acid. It's called something else, but that's what we call it in my language. We call it salt acid. So eventually, it doesn't mean that salt is acidic, because obviously salt is different than those other ones, but it means it gets so strong at a certain point, you can literally what's that word in English? In a way, for lack of a better term, evaporate things when it's that's the word I'm looking for. When it's concentrated enough, you can actually make things dissolve in it, because it's high concentrate. And that's what I did when I had the problem with my tooth. The saline solution I was using was so strong, you couldn't even taste the salt anymore, because the level was at crazy levels, you know. It was so much. I know that sounds weird, and I know, come on, you know me, I'm not English or American, so come on, cut me some slack. But, you know, it was at such levels, you couldn't even tell that it was salt, because the salt is just not there, not high up, but just through the roof, you know. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna have that smoke now, and I really probably shouldn't smoke as bad as my throat is right now, but you know me, and you know what country I come from, and we have a saying here, death shall a cause have. So if nothing else, it lets me know I'm still human, you know. I'm still as susceptible to all of these things as everyone else, and I don't mind having that reminder. It keeps me humble, you know. But in terms of the nose and my talking and my voice and my singing, would I like it to go away? Definitely. Because, like I said, I'm not the best singer, but if I want to talk to you guys or do a song or a music video or whatever that involves my voice or talking, I would like that to be normal. And while I sound okay now, I can tell you right now, if you heard me back then, before this sickness came upon me, whatever it was, my voice isn't even the same anymore. And the way I could sing back then as to now, you can't compare the two, because I'm constantly hoarse. Like, and now these past few days, in this past week, the feeling in my throat even has been like really itchy, really irritated, and I bought these Fisherman's Friends, honey and lemon. I had something other which also had honey and lemon, but I finished them and it actually did help a little. So I'm gonna try these Fisherman's Friends and see if they also help. But yeah, they also have menthol in them, so hopefully that will help me a little bit. But as I said, now we come up on half an hour, and after I've had my smoke and a bit of a breather, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna try and see how this works live, just to see if I'm gonna come out just as clear as I did on this video with the front-facing camera. That's the very key point, because on the old phone I used the front-facing camera, I look like crap. There's so much grain, like the colors are all messed up. So maybe with this upgrade phone, which is an S7, maybe I can finally do it in the way I would like to do it. So if nothing else, you'll be able to see, and you can also see, like, I see still to a little bit of a degree, my sweater is actually like a gray color, charcoal, I guess, maybe, but it looks kind of slightly purplish, dark purple, and it's not purple at all. So but that's just like with these cameras, they add a little bit of color for some reason, but at least, like I said, the picture quality is amazing compared to the old one. So that's going to be interesting for me to see if it works just as good when it's live. So again, thank you for taking the time to listen and watching this. If you like it, click the like. If you don't, click the dislike. Either way is fine. This is BeatNoLogic signing out, saying, if I don't see you next time, have a good one. And as I always say, peace everyone.